And here is the Writer's Almanac for Saturday, July the 11th, 2020.
1960, on this date, To Kill a Mockingbird was published. Harper Lee. She'd started writing anecdotes about life in Alabama. When she moved to New York City, 1949, things were not coming together. She got frustrated. She threw her manuscript out the window of her apartment, and then she thought better of it and went and retrieved the pages. She dismantled what she had written. She turned it into the book that would go on to win the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 1961. The novel has sold more than 30 million copies, and that has made her hometown of Monroeville, Alabama, very, very popular for tourists. Her father's courthouse has been turned into a Mockingbird museum, gift shop. There are restaurants named after the book and its characters, and the town has staged a play based on the book every year. The first act presented in the town square, and then everyone troops inside the courthouse for the second act. It's the birthday of the artist who painted his own mother, James Abbott McNeill Whistler, born Lowell, Massachusetts, 1834. He was ready to paint one day, but the model did not show up, and so he decided to paint his mother instead, the painting called Arrangement in Gray and Black, Number 1, a portrait of Anna Matilda McNeill Whistler in a black dress, in profile, against a gray wall. Whistler's mother. It's the birthday of Jhumpa Lahiri, born in London, 1967. The family moved to Rhode Island when she was 2 years old. She grew up feeling conflicted between the world of her parents, who were still listening to Bengali songs, and that of her American friends, who were watching television and going to the movies. And in this state of conflict, she found solace in reading. She said, "Books and the stories they contained were the only things I felt I was able to possess as a child." Graduated from Barnard, moved to Boston, worked in a bookstore, rented a room in a house, and wrote stories at night. It took her 8 years until her first collection came out, The Interpreter of Maladies, which became a bestseller and won the Pulitzer Prize in 2000. It's the birthday of E.B. White, Elwyn Brooks White, born in Mount Vernon, New York, 1899, a writer for the New Yorker magazine for nearly 60 years. In 1938, he and his wife, Catherine Angel, left New York City, moved to a farm on the coast of Maine, where he wrote essays. His columns for Harper's collected in the book One Man's Meat. He wrote his famous essay Death of a Pig, in which he wrote, "I discovered that once having given a pig an enema, there is no turning back, no chance of resuming one of life's more stereotyped roles. The pig's lot and mine were inextricably bound, as though the rubber tube were the silver cord." And a few years after that, he wrote his famous book, Charlotte's Web. Here's a poem for today, some lines from The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. The quality of mercy is not strained, it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed, it blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest, it becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and earthly power doth then show likest God's when mercy seasons justice. From Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice.
That's the Writer's Almanac for Saturday, July the 11th.
Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.